for organizing this, AJ. I appreciate you having me up, man.
Yes. All right, let me put this in here.
Green County traffic, Warrior 97 Victor, departing there to the north. Let's call Green County Sioux.
What are you thinking, 35?
Yeah, I'd say 30.
Traffic, 30 Zulu,
35 works
the final runway.
Oh, dude. I missed this, man.
35. 35?
Flight level 350, dog.
I am so freaking pumped
You're ready
for
to,
this shit to start.
you're ready to rock and roll on out of here?
I'm sorry to be done with the Pistons.
Dude, the Piston Mafia can't be beat, man.
I don't know.
You don't know about that?
I think the Embraer could beat it. Actually, I think the CRJ 200 could beat it.
Dude, the
Piston Mafia.
The Piston Mafia has freedom that the Jets don't have. And that's my, I'll
That
die
might
on
be true.
I'll die on that hill, you know?
I'll die on that.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get to 35, man.
Me neither.
I feel like these clouds are kind of low, and we got, you know, that Class Echo cloud clearance requirement of 500 below.
You might be right. What are you thinking?
Tough. It's a tough call. I feel like the better option here would be to actually make it down to...
You want to do 3K?
Kind of descending at 3K. I know it's not a VFR cruising altitude, but...
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do?
You know?
I'm fine with it.
All right, we're coming back.
We're coming back.
3,000 on the meter. So what's your... what do you prefer, Piper or Cessna? Because you've taught in both.
Yes.
You've taught in the 152s. You've taught in the 172s. It's kind of an age-old question. Like, what do you feel like is a better airplane, Piper or Cessna?
I have to pay my respects to Piper. Not Piper, I'm sorry. It's just Cessna, because I've flown in Cessnas. Okay. That's where I learned to fly.
Okay.
At the same time, I like the visibility out of the Pipers more. In my opinion, I feel as if they're more stable, the Pipers.
Okay.
I might be a little bit biased because all of the airplanes look just like this, and that might kind of help me a little bit. Because over with the Cessnas, I didn't have all this nice instrumentation, but I would say Pipers, visibility and stability.
What do you feel like about the stability of the Piper versus the Cessna? Do you feel like this low wing is more stable than the high wing in the Cessnas?
Correct. Yeah.
What about it feels like it gives you increased stability? Not to get like all
No, yeah,
CFI,
sure.
but you know,
Sure.
what do you feel about that?
The stall characteristics, I think, are, in my opinion, I could be 100% wrong. I think they're a lot more tame in the Pipers. In my opinion, I don't think it wants to tick over as harshly, and the stalls are just so much easier. Coming in slow flight, coming in on final approach, I think it's a lot easier to control and maintain. That's just, I mean, my opinion. Right, I could be totally wrong. But,
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a lot easier in slow flight and a lot easier with stalls. Landings and takeoffs, the takeoffs are a little bit, you almost have to like tug on it.
Yeah, you've really got to break that ground effect.
Yeah. Yep. And once you get the landings down, you've got it. Because, you know, in the Cessnas, you're used to seeing out of your peripheral vision the tires, and you can kind of see where it's at and work it in. At least for me, I had zero reference on where the heck that was.
The Piper.
So, yeah. So, once you nail that down, I like landing these things a lot more. I think it's a little bit more challenging, but I think it's more rewarding.
Do you feel like overall the Piper for you is your more dream, kind of like ideal trainer for a new student?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, like I've done all my training, like you, very similar in the 152, as well as the 172, carbonated and fuel injected. I've also done it with like autopilot advanced avionics suite.
Sure, yeah.
Doing it with the, seeing that with the G1000s at Liberty where I went to school. So it kind of, you can kind of see like a balance maybe. But I agree with you. I think that like I enjoy this learning in the Cessna. I wouldn't like unwish that. But I wish I owned a little Piper Warrior, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if it came down to it, Warrior and 172, for me to have, I'd do a Warrior.
Yeah, I think they're just a more fun plane to fly. Overall, I like the low wing view, like you said.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like the little, it feels like a little family cruiser, you know?
Yeah.
Where I feel like the Cessna sometimes can feel like a little more bulky and goofy. You feel like you're in a trainer.
Yeah.
You know?
This is like a station wagon.
Yeah, it is. You know, I feel like we can take something and not be like, oh shit, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You've got on, like, interviewed at 2 airlines. You did PSA, right?
Correct.
You did Republic.
Correct.
So, you know, Republic's got this new contract that's just apparently dropping. You got the $90 an hour. Hopefully that's on the way. If we voted in as a TA, you know, temporary agreement. But, like, what for you were you looking at you know, man, for like choosing a regional airline. Because, you know, you went to community college, we went to community college, went to school together.
Yeah.
We kind of grinded out through, we've seen it. So like what for you made this seem like a good, you know, like good place for you to be? You know,
Sure.
I'm obviously there at Republic working right now, so I can kind of be biased, you know, but like what are you looking at when you're picking that regional airline?
What I looked at, my biggest selling point was bases and how much flying I'll get done. So PSA and Dayton was just like 2 golden tickets right there because it's right in my backyard. The pay is nice, right? It's just going to be pretty much what Republic's is now, if everything goes through. And it's right in my backyard, and I can fly a lot. I'll be based out of Dayton. I'll be able to fly a lot. Same thing with Republic. With Republic, you've got Columbus, you've got Indianapolis, and you've got Louisville. Those are all, kind of commutable, at least for me, and maybe yourself as well. If, say, Columbus doesn't work out, you could still try Indianapolis for a few months until you could hold that line. Whereas at PSA, if I couldn't hold Dayton, then I'm going to Philadelphia, and I'm moving out. Like I'm actually going to move out. Like, unless I really want to commute, but all I've heard is do not commute from people who do commute.
Yeah.
So that, and kind of what it boiled down to is, you know, you spoke on the phone with me about how PSA doesn't get a whole lot of flying done at Dayton. And I asked around because, you know, you saying it's one thing, but line pilots who fly there, who are flying at PSA, is totally different. And because that was the first time I've ever heard it, you saying that. And lo and behold, that's what all the line pilots said. They were like, don't go to Dayton. If you want to fly and get your 121 experience, to go on to bigger and better things at potentially the majors, they said don't go to Dayton. So, and not only did one of the line pilots who we know, Aaron, say that, but the guy who reviewed my logbook down in Charlotte told me that. He said, if you want to fly, go to Philly or DC because you're not going to get it at Dayton. And that kind of like was the sealed envelope right there. And he probably didn't even know that he did it, but he did it. And so then over at Republic, like I said, you've got those 3 bases, and you and Trevor speak pretty highly of it. You're getting some good flying in. I mean, yeah, you're on reserve, and it's going to be a little bit short-handed, right? But I'm sure you're going to have that anywhere. Once you can hold that line, the opportunities, from what I hear, are going to be endless. Once they get some of those FOs out, there are some nice houses along this. For sure. And a Put in Bay.
Put in Bay, baby. We got, what, like 17 miles to go. Got a nice little 99 ground speed rolling for us. It's going to be excellent. I've never been up here. This is the first time.
Exciting stuff.
It is. I'm ready to talk to island traffic. Short field technique. What's the good short field technique you got?
So do a full flaps. The setup's usual, right? You're going to do it downwind base final as need be, as the pattern sees it. And you're going to just kind of cut it in. Typically, I don't know how you used to teach it, but I teach it as once we're able, once we get that, especially here, that clearance from the trees, to start to pull it back a little bit slower. Typically, I have people come in at 65, and I start to slow it back to 60, so you have that minimal float, so you don't burn up a lot of that runway. I explain it as not a hard landing, but at least a firm landing. You're getting all 3 wheels on the ground, taking out those flaps right away, braking and pulling back on the yoke, getting that aerodynamic braking, making sure that the wheels are the most surface area is getting on them, so they're the most effective. That's why we take out the flaps, and stopping it in time.
Okay, sounds good. I'll probably have you talk me through it as we're doing it, just to keep us both honest, right on the same page. I'd rather that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm used to doing it in a larger aircraft, you know.
Yeah. I think what do we say? Pattern is going to be 16, which we don't necessarily have to descend now. But the closer we get,
we'll keep an eye out.
Especially since we're going to kind of we need to keep that glide distance between the 2.
Got it, bro.
And then here is Port Clinton, if you can make that out. I don't think there's going to be any traffic.
Yeah.
I think, do they share the same frequency, 22.8? I think they do.
I believe they do, yeah. I'm not hearing anybody though.
I don't either.
Like I said, I'm going to kind of stay here to the west bank, kind of the west side of the island. We'll do a clockwise kind of swoop around. We'll kind of cut between North Bass and Put Bay. It's north of Perry's Monument. Don't come in.
Drop it in. So we'll probably drop it in right over top of that. It's not downtown, but what I would call downtown, where everything's at.
Gotcha. Got Cedar Point off there, off my right.
You hear they're taking down Top Thrill Dragster?
Yeah, man,
that's such a bummer.
I've kind of got a phobia of roller coasters, if I'm being really honest with you.
Man, they're so much fun.
I'm gonna turn that landing light on since we're kind of getting a little.
Cedar Point, tops Kings Island.
Island traffic, Warrior 5897 Victor is 10 miles to the south. We're gonna join a right downwind for runway 3, island traffic.
I got a question for you, Max. Before we get any closer to the airport, Skyline or Gold Star?
Oh, Skyline.
Thank you. Thank you.
And look at all those boats down there. We could easily steal one of those.
3 miles.
Bid and land, bro.
Rattlesnake Island. Let me tell you about these runways here. Rattlesnake Island has east to west runways, 1,500 feet. North to south runways, 988 feet.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, that's a tight squeeze.
Island traffic, Warrior 97 Victor 5 to the south. We're going to proceed on the west side of Put Bay. We'll circle around from the north end or right down for 3, island traffic.
Oh, baby. Coming in on 3 is really fun because you come right over top of the water. And then you're literally like flying right over top of people's houses, trees, and then you just dump it right in.
That's excellent.
Island traffic, 280 is departing 3, Put Bay. North for Middle Bass.
Told you. North for Middle Bass. I told you, bro. That's what the locals say.
Island traffic. That's how it fucking is.
See him out there on 3? We'll just kind of have to keep an eye out for him because he's going northbound.
Yeah, and he's going to Middle Bass, he said.
Yeah, so that'll be that next middle one. That'd be a funny little hop, just right up and down. The boats.
All right, fuel pump coming on. Let's start dropping it like it's hot, baby. Oh, yeah. Look at that shit right there on the point, man. Look at some of those houses, bro.
Right in front of your wingtip, that's a little winery.
That's in front of a boat. That's a house. Do you see that down there on the point?
Yeah. I think that's some kind of, there's a story behind that. I don't know what it is, though. Ashley was telling me about it.
That's cool, man. Island traffic. Warrior 97 Victor's entered a right downwind for runway 3 to land. Island traffic.
Look at these houses, bro.
I'm going to start to configure early just to kind of get me where I want it.
Sure. Got all this stuff on. The lights are on. Mixture's rich. Both on. Yeah. So you've got one in already, and you are below the flap speed. Yeah, baby. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I can make it. You can make it.
Island traffic. Warrior 97 Victor's on a left base for runway 3. Island traffic.
Like putting his hands everywhere, man.
Yeah, man. Zigzagging all over.
All right, base looks good. Speed looks good.
Drop it 2.
Flaps 2. Goes the ferry right underneath us.
Port Clinton traffic, TBM 56 Whiskey. Mile final, 36.
Grab that last call for me.
Island traffic, 5897 Victor. Final approach, 3. Full stop. Flaps 3, okay. You're at 68. Airspeed's looking nice here.
And we've got that sock. I'm going to give
Area traffic, Bonanza.
a little more crosswind correction in here.
Field again.
And we're just going to work it.
Right over top of the trees, man. Look at that view.
South, going to be going south of the airport for maintenance flight area.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. That's sweet, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
We'll get off here and taxi right back.
Okay. That's awesome. Look at that little tower right there on the right. That's kind of cool, man.
We're on the island. Does it feel like it?
Yeah, this is dope. All right, brakes released. We're going to use all available runway, and we're going to blast out of this sucker. You ready?
Yes, sir. It looks like we got wind kind of coming left to right here.
Understood. A little bit of left. Aileron action.
Yeah, she's wanting to chirp. Look at her go. There it is.
Yee-haw! Man, never gets old, bro. We'll sidestep that monument here to the right. Flaps coming 1. You know, it's funny, you come from flying the jet where it's like if you have an emergency, we've got redundancy, but it's like there's so much more energy to manage and control in an emergency scenario. But like flying this, it's like just thinking through engine out procedures, it's a little more relaxing because you realize there's a lot less variables you can control in the sense of like just the energy management's a little bit easier.
Yep.
I mean, that's a little dodgy coming in there with those trees though. I mean, if you're not on your game, I mean,
it's not easy.
Put some hair on your chest, you know? Cleveland approach, good afternoon, Warrior 5897 Victor with you. Cleveland approach, Warrior 5897 Victor, approximately a mile north, Papa Charlie Whiskey.